the first That's How We Roll podcast, episode 1. Chat episode 1. I am, of course, your host, Anarchy77, and next to me, my co-host, Chris-Man0809. How are you, Chris?
I am ecstatic, man. I am so pumped and ready for this. We've been talking about this for 8 months now, something like that. Talking about putting it together, something crazy. But yeah, I'm excited, man, to get to do something with you, something new, refreshing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's I have to agree. I think when we very first talked about That's How We Roll tournaments, for those of you that are joining us for the first time, Chris and I and a friend Robo, we host a tournament called That's How We Roll, or THWR. And we actually talked about doing a podcast right from the start, but we wanted to get the tournaments up and running. Of course, we've hosted 2 great tournaments now, Chris. And so we thought, well, 2023, it's the best time, right? Best time to...
might as well, man. Get it going.
To start that podcast. So here we are. Chris, how about you give us a quick rundown on a couple of the things that we're going to talk about in this podcast, man?
Yeah. So for this one, I mean, we have all right. There we go. Okay. We have a bunch of stuff planned. We had a bunch of different ideas, but for sure we're going to talk about who we are.
Sound?
You good? Okay, there you go. All right. Anyways, so we had a bunch of stuff. And so Discord, Discord and me, we're not best friends. But we've got a bunch of stuff planned. If we get through everything, we'll be happy. But if not, we got it next week. So we're gonna be talking about who we are, our backgrounds, what got us into streaming, probably our families, like our where we're at in life, and then gaming, movies, streaming itself, hot topics, and then in the future, interviews.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you've ever watched one of our tournaments, chat, quickly before I move on, just a big shout out to those that are tuning in today. Killcam, Christy, Nichols, I can see you guys commenting, so thank you. It doesn't tell me who's liked the stream, but I can see that we're getting likes, so thank you to those as well. But if you've ever watched That's How We Roll, one of my favorite things to do, always one of my highlights in those tournaments, of course, interviews. So we definitely want to be bringing that, or those interviews, sort of, or more in-depth interviews into this podcast, Chris?
Yeah, man, this is like, so we talk a lot. If you guys ever watch our streams, we talk a lot about a lot of different topics. But this gives us an opportunity to go in depth of different details about things we're excited for, things that's going on in the world, sports even, and other things we don't talk about enough probably in our stream because we're gaming and stuff like that. But this will give us a chance for not only for us to express some different feelings and ideas about different topics, but also for you guys to learn more about how we feel about different things, who we are.
Yeah, absolutely, and I must say, when I was putting the touches onto this podcast, because I knew that was going to be my goal for 2023, or one of my goals was to get this podcast off the ground. And Chris Mann, of course, lives on the other side of the world to me, and we do struggle time-wise, and it really seemed like this podcast wasn't going to happen with the two of us. And I'll be honest, I contemplated looking at other hosts, but actually there was no other host that I wanted to do this with than my brother, Chris-Man0809. So thank you for definitely, jumping on board.
Of course, man. Of course. I was, this is our brainchild. That's how we roll. So we are, it's That's How We Roll Entertainment, copyright that. Anyways.
No, absolutely, man. So I thought it was, you touched on it before. You touched on about interviews and how I like doing them. So I thought for the first point, we obviously chat. Chris Mann and I, we stream. I stream 5 nights a week, Tuesday to Friday, and then or Tuesday to Thursday, I should say, and either Friday and Saturday, and then I stream Sundays. And Chris, you're on Facebook as well. What's your schedule there?
So mainly, it's kind of weird because it's 12 a.m. 1 a.m. So in my mind, I'm like, it's Monday through Thursday, but in reality, usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Usually the days that I'm on. Saturday, and every once in a while, we'll get into a weekend stream here or there, when we get invited to some cool co-streams and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's dive into that, chat, because we obviously we stream a lot. Definitely for myself, I put up about 20 hours of stream time a week, and Chris wouldn't be far off that. And you don't always get to know the nitty gritty people behind Anarchy77 or Chris-Man0809 because we're focused on taking out enemies and getting Warzone victories and whatnot. So, Chris, I want to appeal, I want to open the can on Chris-Man0809. Now, you and I have played, we've been playing for about a year now. We've known each other loosely for almost 2 years. So, I've got a 2-year badge on your page. What
Thanks, Cam. Appreciate you, man.
Like, what made you?
Thank you for the like and the shares, brother. There's really 2 things, man. One is to meet new people, make new friends, make brothers for life, like yourself and many others that we've come across. And then number 2, I don't want to say I'm not great at video games, like specifically, like competitive games, but I at least can handle my own. We'll say.
Chris, what's your KD?
I really don't know for this one. I know last one it was 2. Warzone 1 it was 2. So, but I'm capable is the best way to put it. And my friends, you play with Bane Train, Jeremy is my friend. They were all like, dude, you should stream sometime, and you should put your name out there, see what happens, and stuff like that. I never really had the capabilities of it. I had PS4. I know you can stream. You could stream to Twitch and stuff like that. And, but it was 2020 and early 2020, and we know that the pandemic hit, and my wife was like, this is the best time to start, best time to get going in this because there's nothing else to do. So I was like, this is perfect. And so I started, and it was a slow grind, and it's still a grind, but it's at the point now where I feel like there's enough people in the community and that want to see me play, want to talk to me, want to engage, that this thing is for real. So that's pretty much my background. What about you, Miss Anarchy? What made you turn on the live button on Facebook?
Yeah, nice, man. Kind of a similar story to you. Warzone 1 had just come out, and I've been dabbling in there. I actually missed season 0 of Warzone. I started playing about halfway through season 1. I've never played COD. I was playing Apex at the time, and it wasn't really, doing it for me. And a good friend of mine said, "Oh, why don't you give Warzone a go?" So jumped on there, and I fell in love with it. It's my kind of thing, I do love watching. Playing, war simulator games and stuff like that. Apex didn't really have the live
realism,
realism of it, yeah. And so I started playing with that, and I started playing quite regularly with my friend that introduced it to me, and my wife. And I sort of snicker when you said that your wife encouraged you, because we'll touch on that a little bit later. But my wife had said, she used to laugh at what I'd be talking about with my friend. And so I said, well, what I can do is set up like a private stream for you to watch. So, you can just watch this link. And so we started doing that. And one night, just went live by accident. I forgot to tick the test stream, and had a couple of people come in, and I thought, well, that wasn't too bad. Let's do it
Mm-hmm.
again. So yeah, went live the next night, and here we are. What 2 years and 4 months.
Yeah, yeah. I'm at
And what a journey it's been.
yeah, about 2 years and 2 months almost. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Because you don't when you first start. Uh, we've seen a bunch of our our now friends and our streamer friends, stuff like that, start streaming, and
Mm, yeah,
and we've helped a lot of them, and a lot, any questions, anything you need, we're here. uh I didn't really have that, and going back, that's why I'm always open to people that have questions. Definitely anybody. I mean, I can remember when our friends like Rick Rax and
yeah, yeah,
Billy Gaming first started streaming. Like
yeah,
they played with us for a long time and been part of the communities and stuff like that. But then they started
yeah.
streaming, and you know what I'm saying. So I can remember back when I first started and I didn't understand. Okay, I need a schedule. Well, I'll do 2 o'clock on this day. I'll do 4:30 on tomorrow. I'll stream an hour, and then I'll get in another 30 minutes. Like I didn't
No,
realize that.
you've
Yeah,
got to
so
stream 4 hours, 4 hours every day, the same time,
yeah,
right?
no, I was all over. If you go back and, of course, a lot of those streams are gone now because I've saved a lot of them,
Yeah,
but they're not on there. It's
yeah,
like you'll see me live at 4 a.m., live at
yeah.
3 in the afternoon, like live, like just random and stuff
Well,
like that. Like I didn't realize it, but I think that's what makes us. Like you said, you didn't even know, like you accidentally forgot, or didn't click on it, and then you just stumbled
mm,
onto, okay, now this is a thing. I think that's what makes where we're at now so
the
much
journey.
bitter, like bittersweet, like what where we came from.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. And I think it's really important to touch on that how much streaming has just come along and over the last 2 years. The pandemic really was streaming's golden age. I know when I started just before the pandemic, and it was good, but you had to grind it out. There wasn't things that, as you say, there wasn't the mentors out there. There wasn't, but shout out to Blood Eagle, who discovered me sort of 3.5, 4 months into my journey. That has helped me, and of course we've just gone from strength to strength, and of course now we are able to we're able to, like you say, pass that on to that new generation, Rick Rax and Billy Gaming and stuff, which is cool. Now, I wanna go back to our wife. So I mentioned, my wife is she encouraged me, or sort of in a roundabout way. You mentioned that your wife encouraged you. Now's the time. Um, how important is it? Like, if we've got people watching, we've got people listening, they want to start up streaming. My advice is don't. But if they do, as you know, people want to be part of this journey. How important is it to have your wife's support behind you, Chris?
Oh, 100%. Like it's everything, man. Because when I first started, now I have a daughter, but when I first started, it's me and her, and like every day, well, what are you doing? Well, I'm gonna go play video games, and stream. If she was, I'm not saying she's always, in the best mood, really like watching some TV together, TV shows. I know Chrissy's the same way, but
Yeah,
uh, but they know why we're doing it. We're doing it because it's our passion. It's what we want to, something that we enjoy. And so I think it's everything to have your partner's support. Christy, especially with you, like she now watches two little ones while you're streaming. It's something that if we couldn't do, it's not like, not that they can't come on our stream, but it's something we couldn't really do without our support from our partners. And I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be even here where I'm at in life without my wife, let alone streaming all across to people all across the world right now. So I owe, like, hands in, for our partners and stuff like that. But uh, we've seen some fellow streamers, maybe not have the full support of
yeah,
their people around them, whether it's their partners, family members, stuff like that. And sometimes it really does make it very difficult to do what you want to do when it comes to streaming.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well said. Well said. Well, of course, chat, feel free to ask us questions that you'd like me to pose to Chris, man, or maybe you'd like me to answer. But this podcast is as much as it is about getting to know us, it is about giving out some opinions. Now, of course, as we've mentioned, we are streamers. We love to play games, Chris. Now, you and I, we play a lot of Warzone, a lot of Warzone, but we are not confined to Warzone. I know Chris likes to play his sports. You play, a lot of NBA 2K, and I think you've played NFL. I think you've actually got a stream of NFL on YouTube.
Yep.
You like horror games, Chris, and of course myself. I love RPG games. I love role play games. Of course, looking forward to like Hogwarts Legacy coming up in 2 weeks' time and whatnot. So we're going to be talking about games a lot. And one thing that I want to talk about, we might as well dive into our main game, Chris. We might as well dive into Warzone 2.
Packy,
Now,
thank you for being here,
Chris,
man. Appreciate
we have
you.
had Warzone 2 for about 8 weeks now. I think it's about 10 weeks coming up. Of course, we're meant to have season 2 drop next week. Of course, it's been delayed till February 17th, so another 2 weeks on top of that. Now tell me, Chris, tell me about Warzone 2, man. Give me your thoughts from the launch of Warzone 2. Have you found season 1? Give me your verdict, mate. Give me your verdict.
So here's the thing, man. We were super pumped for Warzone 2. And I mean, pretty much the whole Battle Royale, FPS, group of people in the world, which is a very high number, was super excited for this. And the peak number of people that were playing it in the beginning in the first couple of weeks and streaming it and the content and stuff like that it made you reminisce of Warzone 1. That's what what it was like. But as this time has went on, man, it's the armor of the game, has starting to get some nicks and some shots in there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's things that but the good thing about this is that they've addressed this in the upcoming season. And that's something that it brings a positive, you gotta have at least a little bit of positive outlook of what the future could hold for Warzone 2. I think something that isn't talked about enough is that it's not going to be Warzone 1. It's not going to be Verdansk. That time in our lives, every single one of our lives, all across the world, will never be the same. We're never going to be in a room playing video games with our friends because everybody is at home.
Yeah.
It's something we're never going to get back, and it was great times. So that's why you have to, like I said, I get frustrated. You get frustrated. A lot of people get frustrated about things, all the time, and that's normal. But I don't think people should try to compare the things with Warzone 1 and Warzone 2. And that's pretty much all I got. That without going into too much detail of what I think is completely wrong with the game and the game needs work. But
Warzone that's what this platform is for. So we are going to dive into it. But
yeah, I've got a question too. Whenever from a watcher for you.
No worries. Yes,
I got you, Cam.
As we're saying, we were super hyped. We had Warzone 1 for just before pandemic, and then we went into this golden time. As you say, we're home, and
thank you for the like, Gaming Packy, as well.
I
appreciate
know
you.
Even now, people have amazing feelings and amazing what's the word? Love? Just this insane pull to Verdansk.
Nostalgia.
It's a strong feeling. And then of course we were teased a new map, and really it wasn't a new map. It was just Verdansk 84, and they put this terrible sun glare in. And we sort of noticed then that the amount of glitches that were coming into the game, and the dev errors started. And they imported, what was it called? Black Ops,
Mm-hmm.
content into this, and
You're mixing two genres, yeah. Of
yeah,
games.
yeah, and it sort of became hard. And of course, the Black Ops guns were they were OP. Which made the Modern Warfare guns terrible, and people got upset about that. I know I was upset. I loved my Growl. I know people were loving the Bruin there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we finally got teased a brand new map coming out with Vanguard, World War II map, and man, it was like, yes, all things are going to be okay. They're going to fix this game. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be beautiful. It's, like, oh my goodness, we're going back to the heyday. And what we got was not what we were promised, right?
No. And this may upset some people out there, but it was not. It was not what everyone was expecting. A lot of people like Caldera, and that's your opinion. But it was no matter what, it was not what everyone expected. Even if you ended up liking Caldera.
Yes. So, look, I actually liked Caldera. I liked the map and whatnot, but there's a lot of people that didn't, and there was a lot of issues with Caldera. We cannot deny that. And I think it's fair to say, as you might say, controversial, we might upset some people. I think it is fair to say that the Resurgence gameplay actually kept Warzone alive. Rebirth was at its healthiest, so healthy, in fact, that they put out a new map, Fortune's Keep, so healthy that they brought in Resurgence, small map Resurgence as part of Caldera. Can anyone remember Beach Hotel? Terrible part of the map, but a favorite for Resurgence. And it really kept Warzone alive for what, a year?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's all we played. Probably what 90%, 99% of the time, and the gameplay was so much faster. Even no matter what you did on Caldera, the rotations they were slower. You had a giant mountain in the middle of the map. You had vehicles that were not as good as the vehicles you had in not Warzone 1 in Verdansk. So you were slower. Yep. I mean, they didn't have. This was in the beginning. It was before the balloons, the redeploy balloons or whatever. It was before all the extras that they added towards the end. So like it was very slow paced, and it was kind of clunky. Was the best way to put it. And I think without Rebirth, I don't think people would be talking about Warzone 2 at all. That's just my opinion. It really did, save the game from being not thrown in the trash, but being on the complete back burner of everybody out there playing battle royales.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Caldera was a big wake up call for Activision.
Damn, I might have to make you a mod, man, on YouTube.
Where they went, you know what, we've got to give these guys a new map. We've got to give them a new game. The coding for Warzone 1 must have been an absolute nightmare. Let's push the reset button. And so they brought out a new engine for Modern Warfare 2. And here we are, 12 weeks into our journey with Warzone 2. Are we better off right now, Chris? Are we better off with Warzone 2, or do you think they could have still salvaged Warzone 1?
I really think that they could look at the other battle royales. Mainly, there's two other. There's a lot of small times that come and go. But mainly, the big three are Warzone, Apex, and Fortnite. If you look at specifically Apex, they rotate maps throughout the whole season, and they have multiple. I think they up to 5 maps now. I think. I think 5. I could be wrong. And they rotate them. yeah, one may not be in this season at all, but you're still going to get 2 or 3, even 4 of the maps in one season. And I think that's something that they could have really, used, because to me, Warzone 2's engine doesn't feel that much different than Warzone 1's. Because we talked about this the other day. We talked about this since they're going to put back in a lot of things, the loot popping out, the shields being, the movement. They're going to inch their way closer to Warzone 1 a little bit. If in my opinion, if they could do that, I'm pretty sure these engines are pretty similar. I don't know. I'm not the programmer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the programmer type. I'm sure someone out there is gonna be like, no, not they're not gonna do it like that, stuff like that. But to me, that's what they're doing, and I think it's good. I think I give them props because they went out on the, a limb and trying to implement new stuff like the looting, the armor plates, the movement. There's a lot of things that they really tried, and I think we need to give them a little more props of at least trying something new. And I will say this though, I think they took too long to come back and listen, because the last time I checked, they've lost something like 50% of theirs. Last time I checked, it was like 50 or 60%.
Through Steam, 72%.
72%.
That is Steam, right? That is Steam. Now, that is still a large chunk. I think it's I think Steam's record for concurrent players for Warzone 2, it was just shy of 500,000 players. Now, 70%, that's a huge player base, but we don't know.
Well, I would say that there's a lot of player base coming from consoles. Like, I would assume that there's a lot of console player base out there.
But even PC, right? Like, you might have got it on Steam, but you might have gone, actually, I'm gonna, because as soon as you use the store in game, it doesn't take you to the Steam store, it takes you to your Battle.net. And so
I run through Battle.net. That's what I do personally. I know you do too.
Most people do. This is the first game on Steam,
so I'd like to see the stats on that. Because if the player base was a lot smaller, it's still a big chunk. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's still a giant chunk. But I do think that with the hope and the possibilities that resurgence is coming back and could be something that trips a lot of people's trigger, where they can push more, even if you're slow. This is what people are talking, like, listening to so many people. The movement, you're going to be so slow, and you're right, but you're still going to be able to come back. It's going to be the same thing. So if I'm slower moving in your team, then I'm still going to be slow. It's not going to be as fast paced as Rebirth Island, but still you're not going to be back in the lobby or waiting on your team to bring it back as often. And I think that's something that a lot of people would like to wear, and it really pushes for people who don't play the game as much, because you get to kind of go freely in a lot of cases.
Look, offensive alert, and I apologize for anyone that finds this offensive, but I've said it on my stream before, and I'll say it again. This is not a run and gun game anymore, right? Now, it can be, and people are doing their damn best to make it.
Oh, you see me a lot of times trying to jump around things, and it's like I'm a.
Yep. I'm gonna duck, dodge, weave, and dodge again. And I know some of the guys that I play, my mods, Matt, Twitch Wookie, and Jehovah and stuff, and they're very much a run and gun kind of thing. And personally, I can't play with like that. I can't play like that. And I think that's where a lot of the skill gap has gone with this game. We really struggle to get, especially the resurgence players, because we're like, hey, we can run and gun in resurgence. There's no penalty until that resurgence clock is counted down. But now, and I know we've talked about this in stream, Chris, that I much prefer to sort of sit back a little bit, and there's merit in Warzone 2. There's actually merit in holding a building rather than running in a building, guns blazing. Now, I want to touch on something here. It's actually a comment from Gaming Puck here. I know you've got a question there as well, Chris, but I just want to touch on this. I think THWR was a flop. because of the hype that was created before it was released. And I think you could use that for Caldera and also Warzone 2. Now, I'm not suggesting Warzone 2 as a flop, right? Because I agree with Chris-Man. I think they've done some great things with Warzone 2. They're trying to listen to us. They're trying to implement, and I think we're going to talk about Season 2 shortly, but I think they're trying to listen to us gamers a lot sooner, just with the changes that are coming in Warzone
definitely.
2. But I want to peel back that comment, Chris. I think Caldera was a flop because of the hype that was created before it was released. How much of that hype comes from streamers, and how bad are we for the industry?
That's a great question, man. I'm going to say that Caldera was a flop if you compare it to the standards that they set with Verdansk. Just the map itself. Just the map, not even counting everything else with the game. When they redid it, I think not a year, but like 8 months into it, something like that, when they completely redid it, it got a lot better. We even played it a couple more times in the tournament and stuff like that because they changed lighting, they changed scenery, they changed mobility and stuff like that. It made it a lot easier to play and a lot better to play. But touching on your point of streamers and how we influence the communities, let's just in personal, my peak ever viewership at one time, whether or not it was fake or real numbers, you know what I'm saying? You don't really know. Yep. Was something like I think it was 200 or something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen very often. It's just once in a blue moon. And then you go and watch, let's say, more big time. You just say Stone, and he has tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of people watching his stream. That means that all those little eyes are watching one person, and he doesn't usually badmouth the game that much. Like there's people who are a lot worse, I'll say that, but still, think about that: 10,000 pairs of eyes watch it, more than that, even on some other places, and one thing could influence that many people, just like that. So yes, we have the potential to be bad for games and the community, specifically Call of Duty, because, like I said, that they can influence tens to hundreds of thousands of people by saying one line, 5 seconds into your stream.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So I mean, so to answer the question, yes, we have the potential to be bad for video, like for a game.
Yeah.
Maybe not me and you, but
yeah, absolutely. No, I get what you mean, and I do want to talk about another game, which of course is getting a lot of hype from streamers. But let's park that, and we'll finish off our Warzone talk. Season 2 of Warzone 2. There's some big changes. Big changes coming. Some of the things that are confirmed. We've got the pinata looting. So no more bags. I'm a little bit disappointed in that. I won't lie. It's going to be easier to loot. It's going to be, we're going to be able. It's going to speed up the game.
Yeah.
But I'm disappointed that I'm not going to be able to carry a bit more ammo or extra plates. I mean, I love going into in-game with 15 plates. Yeah, right. I'm not going to.
So if not to interrupt you about the ammo thing, if I remember correctly, you can max out your gun without impacting how much is in your backpack. You understand what I'm saying? So like if I look at my gun, it shows me, because I can drop ammo out of my.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So to me, it's not the ammo part's not a huge deal. What they're doing, and you actually told me this yesterday and made me think about it. They're just reducing the amount of airstrikes and self-revives people have.
That is true. So there's benefits of that, not being able to get medium or large backpacks in Warzone now, because it does stop that. And we of course were doing a challenge yesterday, Chris. Every Thursday chat we do challenge Thursdays where we try to get a dub with Crazy, and we were successfully with we do that with our good friend Kill Cam as well, also on Facebook. But we were successful last night in the old switcheroo. But I think it was just the game just before that, and we were in final circle, and we had, I don't know how many mortar strikes and precision strikes on us in that final circle. Like, we could not get out of that building to save ourselves. And I think, and then reverse, we know that the system is broken because, of course, I had my precision there, and I think it was Killcam going, drop the precision, drop the precision, drop the precision, and I couldn't because it kept saying, the airspace is too busy, and it's just like, well, that's not stopping the freaking 5 precision airstrikes that I'm.
And the funny thing was I had like 5 self revives. Like I got down like 7 times, and I was just self revive. Yeah,
but I do like that, and I think that's a really vital part of the game, and I am a little bit sad that we're going to lose that. I mean, we're still going to have a backpack, right? We're still going to have a backpack,
and you're going to be able to pick up multiple stuff still if you want to.
But it's a small backpack. It's five slots, and it's going to be up to you how.
What was the slottage? What was the slotted? The amount of slots in Warzone 1? I can't remember because it's been so long.
We didn't really have a backpack though, did we?
No, but you had like the little, like you could
just
pick
caps.
up. Yeah.
So 200 was it 240 AR or 150 SMG or 40 sniper, and which is the same now. That doesn't take a slot in your backpack, right? So you're still going to be able to take. I guess for me, I'm probably going to out of 5 slots, I'll take, put 2 stacks of plates in there, some AR reserve, and a couple of self revives probably, but there is some other big changes coming in. Of course, one thing that we've complained about a lot, Chris, is available money. We know that they're going to be dropping money now. Of course, they're going to change the mechanics on that, chat. If you haven't heard, they're going to be changing that. You're not going to get money out of boxes. So if you're looking for money, there's no point looting boxes now, Chris. That's quite a move away from the traditional game.
Yeah, it's gonna make it so like even when because sometimes all the boxes reset, there's still gonna be times where you're not gonna have money. If someone's ran through and collected all the money, there's no way for you to ever get money. It's just gonna be done. Now that's normal. I feel like that's for dance. You'd be running through buildings and there'd be nothing there. So that's nothing different. But I still think that they're trying new things, and I can't remember. I think it was on TikTok. You can't always trust what you see on TikTok, but people were saying that this is still in their minds their beta, at least with pre season 2. So season 1 pretty much was like a Warzone 2 beta. So that's why they're changing so many things and they're implementing new things continuously, and I guess we'll have to see if there's more money on the ground, like they said that they're gonna balance the economy and
well, which is interesting in itself, right? Because we have noticed that the store is very expensive. The shopkeepers of Al Mazrah must be making a pretty penny because the prices are up there. But that's all going to drop. That's probably going to change the way that we use our kill streaks now as well. Which is going to be interesting. Now, I do want to touch on. You're talking about a beta, and I think a lot of people have.
Might have not had that on their cam
as a beta.
I've got a lot of things I got to work on YouTube.
I actually want to touch on a mode. I know that you're not overly keen.
39 minutes,
Chris,
40 minutes,
but I'm a huge lover of it, which is DMZ,
and
that has been marked a beta. And we've learnt today. Activision came out today saying that there is going to be a complete reset of DMZ. And I don't know if you've I don't know if you're on Twitter today, but Twitter has been a cesspit of of upset people today about losing their progress on DMZ, and even Stone Mountain mentioned it on his stream today, going, "This is a huge, huge loss."
My question is though, it's the DMZs compared to, oh, I can't. The game similar to like the style. Tarkov.
Yep.
They reset and lose all their stuff every once in a while. They have reset days, don't they? Like I don't know the details about that game.
Usually, when there's a significant update on Tarkov, they reset the servers, and that was talked about today. Stone was playing with Tomographic, but Stone doesn't play Tarkov anymore because he hates that reset. Where Tomographic was like, "Well, I'm kind of used to it." Except the difference between Escape from Tarkov and DMZ is much more mission focused. Yes, I'm not saying that there's not missions in Tarkov. There is, right? But DMZ really only has missions going for it, right? You've got to move through the ranks. So you get the tier 1 legions to unlock tier 2 legion and tier 1 white moose, and white moose to unlock black bear, and all of that is now gone. Now we don't know what they're going to implement for DMZ.
I've got a question for you though, because like I said, this is not my. I don't want to say it's not my cup of tea. The game irritated me the first day we played it. I get the good stuff. I loot the whole area. I complete the mission, and I'm running back, and I dev error. I was like, I'm out.
Dev errors,
I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
But back to my question. What is completing those missions do for you though? Is there specific things that you get, like that you actually use in anything besides DMZ?
I mean, obviously blueprints. You can get your blueprints. There's the M13, of course.
But you're not going to lose that, right?
The Chimera. You don't lose that. No. Once you exfil with those, they're yours. I know my mission. I did one with Knickknacks on Thursday after follower games. We were waiting for a bridge, and she said, "Let's jump into DMZ," because she loves it, which is cool. And we did that, which was awesome. And I got a new operator skin. Now, look, it's nothing special. It's not a ghillie suit, I love my ghillie suit. But there's obviously some rewards that they want to put into DMZ. So I think once it does move out of beta, I think there's going to be more to it. You can get in-game, like DMZ rewards as well, different keys and...
So then I'm still not understanding. This is just me, man. Like you said, I'm not the guy. I'm not that guy, pal. I'm not that guy.
I
know. Then who cares? Like, if there's nothing there that actually means anything, that you're not losing, it's not like they took your gun away or your blueprints away, or like who cares if you lost the 39th key that you have for one? Like, who cares?
You can only hold 20 keys, Chris.
Okay, right? I'm sorry, you lost your 20.
But the fact is that you are going to lose those 20 keys, and then of course now you've got the second map. So you've got Building 21 that's only accessible at certain time windows. I still haven't been able to play it, and those keys are a little bit hard to come by. They're not easy drops. And you can get some really good stuff out of Building 21, but. I mean,
and that's not. I don't want to offend anybody. I just think that with this, what I'm reading here and what you're saying is that maybe they're doing that because they're going to make it better, and they're going to make it, more like they're going to put better things in it to where like it will make people like me who want to get cool things that I can use in everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're going to do. So if they're going to reset it, you lose your 20 keys to the same building, and then and then they add more blueprints, better skins, better even weapons, better tasks, better like we've talked about this. Why couldn't you get like find coins in there? Find not Apex, find Warzone tokens in there. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, what if you
Well,
like stuff like that? That's the kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it has been talked about, and I guess it goes back to DMZ being that beta, right? So once they sort out those kinks and whatnot, they can bring in some of the bigger awards. So I guess with that, Chris, are you thumbs up, thumbs down for season 2? Are you excited for it? Are you not excited for it? Give me your final thoughts.
I'm excited.
For season 2.
I'm excited for the resurgence. I'm excited for. I'm not excited for Gulag. I don't like the Gulag chains. I like getting my 2 kills. I like adding to my kill total. That's just me. Other people maybe like, I'm tired of, but a lot of times me and you die at the same time. So I'm in there with you or Cam or whoever. So it's a little different. I get that, but I'm not excited for that. I want other guns besides pistols and shotguns. I'm mouse and keyboard. You're on controller, not you, but like someone else is on controller.
Someone else has.
They're gonna usually win a lot more of those fights, in my opinion, up close. That's just how I feel. I want something I can shoot far away with. That'd be something that they could add, and they're not going to. They haven't had that. Well, they might. They had it last Warzone, but
they have confirmed. They have confirmed that shotguns are gone, but ARs and SMGs are coming to Gulag. With some changes. Now the changes in the Gulag won't be this season. This season, it's going to be the same. There'll be some minor changes to make it a little bit easier for 1v1. But season 3 is a whole new Gulag. They did confirm that, and a new weapon rotation. But I am with you on.
I'm excited. I think I'm gonna give it a like a B, like a B C D, E F G, whatever you want to the scale. I'm gonna give it a B in my excitement because we know how Activision is, but I'm an optimistic person. I'm gonna give it a chance, and there's some positive things. You're gonna be able to move faster. You're gonna be able to loot faster. You're gonna be able to buy more money. You're gonna be able to get your teammates back faster. You're gonna have resurgence. There's a lot of good things that people have, and like you said earlier, listening to the community about, and I'm excited. I'm gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give it a chance and stuff like that. Mainly because all the different changes together. And I actually have a question here, and you can answer this for me from Mr. Killcam YT. He asks,
"Who's that?"
He goes, "If Warzone doesn't work for you guys, what games would you both play together? Instead of Battle Royale or multiplayer, or this Battle Royale or multiplayer." What do you? I'm gonna let you answer that because.
All right. Yeah,
I've played other things, other Battle Royales. You. This was your main one.
Yeah. So if Warzone didn't work out, and there's something that has been asked for quite a bit probably over the last year, really, when we got the hot mess that is Caldera.
Thanks, Cam. I appreciate you, man.
That was Caldera.
I appreciate you being here. I have 2 people in here. Whoever you are, the other person, I appreciate you being here.
Warzone was really saved by Resurgence. And to Warzone 2, and there's a lot of streamers, including our good friend Rick Cracks that we talked about earlier. I know he's really struggled to adapt to the game, and he was sitting there going, "Oh, I need a new game." So I think it's something that we think about all the time as content creators. For me, and we've talked a lot about this on my stream over the last couple of weeks, especially with the upcoming release of Hogwarts Legacy. I love a good role play game. We haven't really had anything released in the last couple of years, even though this has been a golden time for gaming and streaming, and playing with friends. It's been bad for game development, right? Because developers haven't been able to sit in their office and release games. But we're getting a heck of a lot this year, and I've talked about it quite a bit on my streams.
Yeah, if you go back to October of 2022 to within a year, Like it's gonna the most amount of big titles in a long time, at least
100%.
4
You know,
years, at least 4 years since this
Hogwarts
happened.
Legacy. It's the biggest selling game. Not even out yet, right? Biggest selling game on Steam.
Yeah, Harry
Right?
Potter fans.
Uh,
There's a lot. There's a lot.
yep. Skull and Bones from Ubisoft. Now that was just launching up. They're just ramping up the launch. Now, of course, it's been delayed till 2024, but that was going to be a huge launch for this year.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Bethesda's new original title, Starfield.
Yep.
In November. Right, like what a freaking year you've got! You've got some indie developers. Wild West, Wild West Dynasty. I love the Dynasty series. So, for me, if Warzone doesn't work out, or whether that's with me or whether Warzone just comes to an end, COD could turn around and say we're not going to do Warzone now. It's just not worth the money. I would probably see myself more leaning towards my role play games, but that's not to say that battle royales wouldn't move. As I mentioned, I started with Apex until Verdansk, and I started halfway through season 1 of Verdansk.
Yeah, it did because people didn't like how there, man.
You and I played a lot
that's what
of
I
Arena,
did, honestly.
Chris, when arenas were around on Apex.
That's something I'm highly disappointed about. I really enjoyed that because it was fast paced and you didn't loot for an hour and you just went and played. That's something that I'll never understand. Maybe they probably have statistics and like data that points that says it wasn't worth it for them, and I understand completely. But personally, I'm a little upset about that because I that's something I would definitely get into. But I played some Fortnite. Back in the day, when there wasn't 4 billion different characters, and you just played like no. But this was pre Skyscraper. This was like when the game came out.
So I played a bit of Fortnite last year when No Build came out.
I agree 100% with you,
like
Mr.
a couple
Kilkeen.
games of Build, and I was just like, I can't do this. But when the No Build came out, I did. I have to say that I do. I actually enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I haven't streamed it. Maybe I will in the future. I like Battle Royale. I think you and I played that, Chris. I know I've played with Jack
Realm.
Realm Royale.
Yeah,
with the little chickens. So I think
funny.
Battle Royale will stick around on Anarchy 77 as well. But I do also want to expand that channel.
And that's what like you talked about earlier, man. I've streamed some Madden on YouTube. I've done 2K. I'm doing 2K once a week now. Don't know the kind of push that it gets, but it's fun just getting some different content out there, and you can ask some people that came over. Like it's pretty funny because I'm playing with friends and stuff that I've known since I was 5, so it can get different content like that. I've beat Resident Evil 0 through 6 on stream. All 7 of those games. I love horror games. I'll get back into that. I'm getting close to beating 7 on stream. We haven't done it since Halloween time, so I might even think about doing that. It makes me want to do it now. But honestly, for 2023, I'm excited for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I streamed that. And beat that back in 2020. I think it was one of my first games that I played on stream. My first game was Doom. I played Doom and I beat the Doom games on stream, and then I beat Star Wars. What's it Jedi? I can't think of the first one now. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the new name, and it's but yeah, I'm excited for that. That'd probably be my biggest game of just looking at the games. I was excited for Hogwarts because I want a potential where we could play together. Because I like games where you can do a little bit of both. Like I can go do my own thing, you can do your own thing, we can meet up together. But it's not like that, so it takes away the. I mean, not saying like I like playing with you. I like playing with everybody. That's why I'm still playing Warzone. I mean, I like the camaraderie.
there's rumors that there's going to be later content for Hogwarts Legacy, mainly dungeons and raids. So you might not be able to roam the world with your friend, but you'll be able to do like a dungeon with your friend or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
and I'll watch you play it a little bit and decide if I want to hop on the Potter train. So
oh mate,
the Hogwarts train, I guess you could say.
Hopefully, I'm going to be able to clock it in a week. I don't think I will. I mean, I only stream 20 hours a week, and they've said it's about a 38-hour main story. 38-hour main story. So a decent story on that. And
that's if you do everything. If that's if you do everything right the first time. That's the thing.
True.
They don't tell you that.
True. That's true. So yeah.
I'm excited, man. The future is bright. Like you said, more and more games are going to start coming out, and developers are going to start, pushing content for us to play. Different games, stuff like that. And I think you talked about this about 10 minutes ago. You talked about indie games. I've had a TikTok. You see a lot of stuff. There's some indie games I'm contemplating. There's a lot of good horror games out there that are pretty crazy, and I might just get back into that if this Warzone thing doesn't work out. Because I started on Apex. I started way back when, actually, on Overwatch, which is it was a 6v6 game where you would compete against each other, and different push to payload, stuff like that, and different characters have different powers and stuff like that. That's where probably my first game where I grinded out of it, and then I went to Apex and I played 2,000 hours of it in the year it came out. Yeah. I put in a lot of time to that, so I was a little fried, and I hopped onto this. Oh, you know what? You need to get into Rocket League. Play some Rocket League.
I have done Rocket League on stream. I haven't played it for a long time. But I used to play with a guy called Macca, Lambo.
Oh, Gaming. Lambo. Yeah, we played a bunch together too.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if it was like just before your time or whatnot, but yes. So I have played a bit of Rocket League. I think if you sink your hours into it, man, like it can be a really fun game. But
yeah, it gets competitive, man. I've actually played for my college and everything, and that's
toxic.
Oh,
man,
dude,
we think we're toxic, which it is.
Yeah, but this is it gets it because it's 3v3 or 2v2 or 1v1. Like you can do whatever It's interesting.
Jason Lang is bringing up some classics right now for first-person shooters. Quake, Doom, Counter-Strike. Man, those were some good old days.
That's if you're talking about the original Doom, like definitely, man. The newer Dooms I've played, I love those too.
Yeah.
What was it? Supposed to come out? Can't remember. I have to look it up. They're remaking or redoing a game, and a Diablo. That's what it was. Diablo coming out.
Yeah, right.
And that looks, that's multiplayer. I mean, you play with people. So might be something. Might be something to look at. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Chris, we had a lot on our episode sheet for today, but here we are an hour into our podcast, which we said would probably be our limit on this, and that's okay because a lot of this can actually go to next week's podcast list anyway, man. But I do want to say thank you to everyone that has tuned in tonight, both on the stream and Chris Mann's stream, which is good. Chris, what is something that you want to discuss next week?
Ooh, think about this. I had to re-click on Discord. A couple things I think we could talk about. One would be, you saw my little things on there. Anyways, one would be next week at this time we'll know, some sports related. We'll know the Super Bowl, who's going to play in the Super Bowl, United States football. U.S. football. That's something something interesting we could talk about. And then also, looks like you have here movies or potential streaming. I want to talk about some stuff. Yeah, you know me. I talked to Anarchy about this. I want to talk about some hot topics that go with streaming or content creation, and yeah. So I'm going to be doing some research this week of hot topics that we can talk about.
Yeah, awesome.
Or controversial issues related to streaming.
Not too controversial.
Related to streaming, not like we're going to talk about like some others. So we're going to talk about related to streaming stuff that makes people be a little feisty.
Awesome, man. Well, Chris, it has been an absolute pleasure. And again, to our chat, thank you so much for tuning in to our very first night of our podcast, the That's How We Roll, or THWR podcast. This is episode 1. This is our pilot. We've got so much stuff that we want to talk about. So this is going to be happening every Friday night, 7 p.m. New Zealand time. I think it's about midnight for you, Chris. When
it starts. Yeah, it's about 1 a.m. now, and yeah.
Yep, we will try and keep it to about an hour-long chat, because we do want to be able to put this podcast up onto other podcast platforms. So we'll do it there. But please, guys, if you have any feedback, if you have any questions, if you have any topics that you want us to cover, please don't hesitate to hit us up in our streams or send us a message. As I mentioned, I stream over on Facebook as Facebook partner from Tuesday to Thursday, either Friday night or Saturday night. That will probably end now that I've got this. It'll be Friday night on this, and then Sunday night. Chris, your schedule is a little bit more over the place with mine. Remind the viewers when they can find you.
Central Standard Time, 1 a.m. pretty much Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and either Monday or Friday. One of those days. But weekends pop up here and there, but usually I'm with the fam on the weekends. But and I'm with you 2 days a week at least on the weekdays, so you'll see both of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
In,
Wednesday
Warzone.
night follower games, and Thursday night Challenger Thursday.
Yeah, hey, that's 2 weeks in a row, right? And didn't we get a win 2 weeks ago too? Didn't we complete 2 challenges?
No, we missed out. We came second, I think, on the that was the claustrophobic challenge.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so hey, we got that dub, the last game of the night, at least for us, our team. Me and Mr. Killcam was alive, and Anarchy was dead, which is something you'll see a lot. He loves gulags, so remember that.
I love gulags because I can win them. Not last night. Let's not talk
Thanks,
about
Chrissy.
that.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for that like,
guys. Chris, man, appreciate you. To all our viewers, thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. Make sure you check us out on YouTube. Also, before we go, I just want to reach out to the people of New Zealand who we absolutely flooded. Even I thought I was going to be late today because I was digging a trench to save my studio. But appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in tonight, guys. And on that, Chris, thank you, my guy.
Of course, man. Hey, on to the next one, dude.
Yeah, on to the next one. Let's get that episode 2 started, man. All right. Catch you later.